Welcome, everyone, to this weekly live radio show at KCIW 100.7 FM in lovely coastal Brookings, Oregon. Thank you for tuning into this week's exciting program of Doc and Jacques. I'm Dr. Gigi, and I'm sitting next to my co-host, San Francisco Jacques. How are you, my friend?
Hello, Dr. Gigi. Good afternoon to our guest today and to all of our loyal and new listeners out there. Welcome to the Doc and Jacques Radio Variety Show. It's live, and today is December 18th, 2024.
Yeah. Guess what, Jacques?
What?
Today is National Twin Day.
National Twin Day, and Dr. Gigi is a twin. Well, hello, Rika. You came out first, right?
I did. Yep,
Between
we're
you
identical
girls?
twins. We
Okay.
smell the same. Uh-huh.
All right. Okay. Very cool. You will both. That's right. You both smell the same. We found that out. I want to shout out to our sound engineers, Ray Gary, Michael Gorst, and Tom Bozak. And by the way, great greetings to everyone out there. This is our last show of the year of 2025. We close it with a bookend on a great show with a great guest today.
Yeah.
We will be back January 8th. And why do we get 2 weeks off? Simply because Christmas falls on a Wednesday when this live show happens, and New Year's falls on a Wednesday. How rude, right? Okay, so there we go. All right, Doc, what do we have for your MD10 today?
Well, you requested something more gender-related. So
Genital stuff? Is that what or gender?
Gender.
Okay, all right.
So I chose to talk about endometriosis.
Okay, and I said, what is
Right.
How do I pronounce
Endometriosis
Endometriosis, okay.
is a disorder in which tissue that lines the womb or the uterus which is called endometrium, grows outside of the uterus where it does not belong. The endometrium means literally endo for inside, metrium for uterus. So it's inside the uterus.
It's a girl thing. It's a lady.
It's a girl. It's a
woman's.
Okay, well, I'll tell you. I'll fill you in.
Okay, fill me in.
The endometrium is a tissue that goes through a monthly cycle. It grows, gets bigger, and more comfy in anticipation of a fertilized egg to nest in it and become...
To nest in it? Is that how you Germans call it? Okay, to nest in it, okay.
And become a baby.
An embryo.
If there is no fertilized egg coming along, the lining gets shed, which we call the period or menses in women
Menstrual
who
cycle
have
that
a
women
uterus.
have. Okay.
All of this is directed by hormones.
We got. I think they're cutting. I think upstairs at the restaurant they're cutting open a.
Yeah, right.
They're using some electrical. So that's okay. Keep going, Doc. I'm sorry.
If this tissue grows outside of the uterus, it cannot shed and it accumulates in the body, obviously, right? And gets absorbed very slowly, kind of like a bruise, right? The bruise takes a couple of days, a week or so to be. So this means that there is blood and other tissue outside of where it is supposed to be.
So so this is a woman disease only. And, okay, keep going. She's giving me the look.
Yeah, I'll tell you in a second. A big important part of it is the blood, and the blood has red blood cells, and in the red blood cells is iron, and iron is a metal, and it is caustic.
Okay, caustic metal is part of it, and it's not a good thing to have in your
right.
body.
So endometriosis can be very painful. It's pain with just about anything, just like going to the potty, number one or number two, or you have it chronically, or sometimes it gets worse, especially with a monthly cycle. You also can have nausea, abdominal, bloating, etc.
Okay, but how many people get this, or how many women, and how many of your patients?
So you say women, I'll tell you something. It's 10% of people with a uterus. We don't say women anymore. We say people with a uterus.
Oh, is that the proper way?
Yeah, that's the proper way, I guess.
Okay.
So 10% of people with a uterus in childbearing age are the afflicted ones, which is about 10 million people in the U.S.
So the bottom line is when these women or these people with a uterus, they just close the. I think they're vacuuming upstairs. Mm-hmm. When these ladies or women or people with a uterus come in to see you, what are their general complaints?
Probably more menstrual cramping than what would be expected.
Normal. And it could be...
nausea. And
toxic lining, caustic lining could be anywhere in the body?
Well, somewhere that's down in the pelvic area.
the general area.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So more than 50% of people with endometriosis have infertility problems. And it is costly because these people with the uterus call in sick because of the severity of symptoms. That is a real problem.
So when it used to be only men were gynecologists, and what was it dismissed? You said something very interesting yesterday when you were telling me about this. A lot of men, doctors would just dismiss it.
So it wasn't really experienced or not felt it was that important because men didn't experience it. So they thought, I'm saying this. There's no literature saying that, but because men didn't experience it, and 90% of women didn't have the problem, so it was often dismissed because why would that person have so much cramping if the other person, 9 people, don't have?
Do you
all
give
that cramping?
painkillers for this?
Yeah. So the treatment is, believe it or not, Tylenol.
Tylenol,
Because it is, it does attack the substance P or prohibits the substance P to work on the pain receptors. Hormones. You get the hormones to avoid the monthly cycles, or in really bad cases, it's surgery, such as a hysterectomy.
So where they identify that this is where this extra lining is outside of the womb.
Yeah.
It's they say we've identified it there, so they'll go on and they'll actually take it out.
Yeah, they will try.
And it's just weird tissue made up of iron.
Well, it's the line. The iron comes from the blood that is, it's very, has a lot of blood vessels in there because it has to give nutrients to the embryo that might be there.
Cool. Well, great.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Right?
Say it again. What did you just
Endometriosis.
I'm not going to try that. All right, folks. Well, thank you for that, Dr. Gigi. We're here live in the KCIW studio. And we have another musician, a wonderful musician, a new friend, and somebody that's making a big impact on our show today. But before we get to him, I want to have us all contemplate this. I've said this multiple times, but where would we be, folks, without music? Isn't music how we make sense of the beauty and the pain and the joy and the struggles that color in the canvas of our mortality and existence? Where would our human species be without music? Think about this. Music affects all of us from the time we were born, when our mothers sing nursery rhymes in our ear, to the times of our deaths when choirs lament our passing with songs. Yeah. Music is anything and everything that lyrical sounds made by instruments and vocal assets pass through the filters of our ears and settle into the seat of our souls. So, as you go about your daily and weekly business this coming holiday season, Christmas and the New Year, I implore you to seek out those opportunities where you may immerse yourself in music.
Yeah.
Go out and listen for the sound of music. It's everywhere. And when you find it, soak it up, luxuriate in it. I assure you it cannot hurt you. At best, it will awaken your spirit by allowing music to speak to your soul. And with that, I say amen. Amen, or a woman, I should say. All right, there we go. So we are joined in the studio today, like I said, with a new friend of ours, a super talented artist. Many of you know him, and his wife. Welcome, James Debottis to the KCIW studio.
Thank you all for having me.
All right, man.
That's cool. Super cool.
You're
We're
known
excited.
as JD Drums guy, right?
Yeah, that's
But
my
I walked
tag.
in and you're playing a guitar.
Oh, yeah.
They got you mic'd in.
Yeah, no, it sounds great, too. I'm appreciative of you guys having me here.
All right.
Really cool.
Welcome. That's our last show. So let's
last
of the year.
It's gotta
Not
be
the
a good
last show. Last show of the year.
Last show of the year, yeah. Okay, Doc, start off.
All right, let's start from the beginning. JD.
Okay.
James, do you
Well,
go by
I was
James
born-
or JD?
I go by James just casually, but JD Drums is my tag on all my social medias and stuff. It's kind of my musician name.
Okay, JD Drums.
It's a tag, but call him James.
Yeah.
James. All right, where were you born, raised, and what brought you here?
Well, I was born in Lansing, Michigan, but I only lived there for probably a couple years. I don't really remember it. Went to Portland, Oregon, pretty young, and stayed there most of my life. Toured out of there for almost 20 years. But I was with a band called Sweet and Juicy.
Yeah.
A lot of you might know.
Sweet Juicy, yeah.
Yeah, so I was with the Funky Fruits, and we were on our way through, down to California, and I had never been down this far, the 101. I actually didn't know anything was past
From
Lincoln City.
south of Portland and Lincoln City.
Yeah, well, yeah, Lincoln City is about
yeah.
as far as I ever went, and then we would go, over to I-5, cut down, and we'd go straight to L.A. We skipped most of the stuff most of the years. So when I was with them, we played everywhere. We played about 300 shows that year that I was with them on the road, about 340 days. So
On the road.
yeah, and the other 25 days we had off, we recorded an album. So it's like we really didn't have like any days off.
All original
really.
music, pretty much?
Yeah, 100% original. And they all wrote the music over the years that they were together. They had multiple drummers before me. I just was a session guy looking for a gig, and they were nice enough to hire me. We went on the road for a whole year together, and it worked out really well. I just happened to come through this town, and I met my wife the night that we played here the first time at Oxenfree.
Right on.
It was only a couple days after my 29th birthday. So.
We were at that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a crazy thing. And she came across the room, is like out of a movie, and she's just like,
wow.
Who are you? What are you doing here? I've seen these guys before. You haven't been with them, so.
And you were wearing some weird costume.
I wasn't in the costume yet. I was just loading in equipment, and she was, having a couple drinks with friends and just hanging out. And came up to me because she hadn't met me before. She recognized the other guys, so she's like, "Who's this guy?" And then within 5 minutes of talking to me, she's like, "Hey, you're gonna, you're sleeping with me tonight." So.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
Rock and roll fame. Man.
Yeah. Well, and it was a couple weeks I had to wait after we left. The guys made me wait like a full 2 weeks. I don't know why they had it in their head. If I messaged her earlier than that, then I was desperate. I regret waiting that long because I think I somehow knew I was going to love her even then.
Right on. That's Priscilla we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Priscilla's quite the gal.
Yeah.
About town.
A lot of people know her as Ariel, but
I know her as Priscilla.
Priscilla is growing to be loved around town now.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, you've been on our radar for a long time. Now, as a band member on the drums, what was your suit you had to wear during?
I was the pineapple. In the
Pineapple.
Yeah.
There was the banana.
Yeah. So it was sweet and the letter N and juicy. So sweet is like the banana, and then you got me, the pineapple. I'm in, which stood for a long name that I really wish I could remember because I had it down at one point, but I don't want to murder it on their part. And then Juicy was the strawberry piano player.
They're still around.
They're still around. They're no longer wearing the fruit costumes as far as I've
maybe
seen.
that's better though.
I
they're
thought it was
talented
hilarious.
musicians. I never wanted it to take away from them.
Yeah, it was weird. I thought
it was fun to do.
I thought it was hilarious.
We traveled with it, and people, at least in our circles, all of the, the old school hippies and stuff like that, played Oregon Country Fair, all that stuff like that. So
cool.
Those were the coolest experiences. We even played a private show for Cirque du Soleil in Portland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were set up for the Alegria show, and the accordion player and the oboe player or something like that. Random musicians just happened to be staying at the Marriott that we happened to play a show at the Courtyard in Marriott, and we were just playing to nobody. They just happened to be sitting there in their beautiful fur coats. They come up and they're like, "Hey, we have 4 people that are having birthdays this month, so we're having a big old birthday bash, and we were looking for a group. We'd love you guys to come play literally tomorrow night." And we were like, yes, we'll be there. So we played a 3-hour show for probably 250 people, 100 different cast people, and then all of their families and stuff travel with them all around the world.
Got some feedback from that, obviously.
Oh, huge, yeah. And honestly, the guy tried to steal me. He was like, you should come sign up to do this. This would be fun. And I was like, oh, that would be great, but... Yeah,
committed to Sweet and Juicy.
Yeah, I was.
Plus, I've already seen
and I'm
Brookings.
so glad. No, that was actually just before.
That was just before.
It was a couple months before, and then literally we came through, and I'm so glad that I didn't even entertain the idea because I met my wife.
Who were your bandmates? What were their names?
Dave Smith.
Hey, Dave.
And then Paul Parisa.
Yo, Paul.
They stay with Claudette, right? When they come?
Yeah, they used to stay with my wife back in the day, but now we're together, so they found a new friend, and she was so happy to have him over there. So I know that.
Claudette was so excited.
Yeah,
you guys get they're staying at my house tonight.
Yeah, no, they're great dudes. Cool. Had a great time with them.
Very cool. Well, tell us something else about Sweet and Juicy.
The album of the year.
The album?
Yeah, so that was a really cool thing that I actually kind of found out through the grapevine, through the producer, Bray. He's a really cool guy and a great producer. And we recorded the album the year I was with them, but of course it had been a couple years since. So I just assumed that they finished it and went about their business. And one day I find out that it won the Pacific Northwest they were like the most popular fan voted band, as well as being album of the year winners.
Wow.
So I
that
was a
is
part
so
of that,
cool.
which was
Now,
really
did you get a
cool.
little plaque or big plaque?
Yeah, they gave me, the certificate. It looks like a graduation thing. They gave me a couple of them, so I have them hanging in my studio now.
Very cool.
So that's
That's
just a fun
something that
little
not a lot of
accolade, you
people
know?
can talk about. I mean, say, right? To
So the album
name.
is called Your Mom's Gonna Love Us. I'm sure you can get it on all the streaming sites. I'm sure it's
Mom's
on
Gonna Love
YouTube. I know they had at least one music video made that was pretty funny. That was kind of funny because they kind of murder me, like because I was out of the band. So they kind of murder my pineapple and like get the new pineapple in there. It's really funny. It's very cutesy and made with love.
Are they
It
still
wasn't-
traveling a lot? Of they?
Yeah, and I think they're about to calm down. They just finished, I believe, what's going to be their last big California tour, or maybe they went even to Arizona this time. I'm not sure, but I just been keeping track of them through the grapevine because
Yeah,
they're
sure.
good dudes, and it's just cool to see what they're doing.
Cool.
Yeah,
so you
so-
have traveled a lot, right?
Tons, yeah. Really constantly, at least every spring and summer since I was 12 years old, I've been on the road as a musician. So I travel constantly for that. But more recently, I've been able to travel more for fun with my wife, doing trips and stuff like that, which is nice to have somebody to go places with.
At age 12, what were you doing? Was it with your family? Or?
Yeah, so my dad was a record producer back in the 80s and used to be a drummer as well. He had this gigantic Pearl drum set in the middle of the living room that he never played. And so he built custom cars and motorcycles, stuff like that. And so he would go to his shop every day. And one summer when I was home alone every day pretty much for the summertime, I just like got into playing drums. And it must have been months later, probably 2 or 3 months later, he walks in on me playing Down with the Sickness from Disturbed on his big PA system, like I'm just blasting it. And he walks in all mad at first because he doesn't know what's going on. And then he sees
Playing my drum.
10-year-old me on this gigantic 80s drum set that I shouldn't even have been able to reach the cymbals, you know what I mean? And I'm playing Down with the Sickness with like some fluency. He has never seen me play before, so he has no idea what's going on. A couple hours later, my mom gets home. He has me show her. The next day, they buy me a drum kit. 6 months later, I recorded a song with them for the first time. And then about 6 months later than that, I replaced their like 40-plus-year-old drummer because I surpassed him in
Oh my
in
God.
level of drumming.
Drumming to me is the hardest instrument of all.
It's funny. I love that, and I want to accept that, but it's legitimately the easiest if you can separate hands and feet.
Oh my gosh. Okay. well,
And
maybe
that thing nobody
to
thinks they
dance.
can do, but I guarantee you sit down with one lesson with me, I'll get you playing a full drum beat by the time you walk out of an hour-long lesson. It's the basic beats that everybody learns when you first start. That's what gets your mind going, and you kind of understand the mechanics of how drums work. And then you're like, oh, this is cool. I don't have to worry about what key I'm in. I don't have to worry about what
That's
tuning the
true.
guitars are in. I don't
Yeah.
care what note you're playing. It doesn't matter to me at all.
You're right.
You know, oh, my tom's in C flat. Like, I don't know. I have no idea.
You sing?
Yeah, I sing, and I have to keep track of tunings with all of that. I play guitar, I play
Yeah.
bass, I play piano, I write rap beats, I rap myself. We're about to release a new rap album at the end of the month. and
What,
going into the new
yourself
year.
as your single?
Yeah, so I'm as well as having the JD drums, I'm also like starting like a local production company, which I'm going to call JD Productions, and it's essentially just running my studio out of my house, but it's I mean, I have a substantial amount of gear and it's
Right.
we've been building upon it constantly, so it's only going to get better. But I found some really good local talent. I don't know if he wants me to mention him or not.
Yeah,
but
mine. Go ahead.
His artist name is Demonize. It's spelled Demoniz.
Demonize.
Demonize.
I get it. Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of a play on words, whatever. But that is his artist name, and we've created Instagram page for it, a SoundCloud for it. There is a few songs already up on the SoundCloud, so if you want to go to SoundCloud/Demonize,
Yep.
that is a great place to go.
You can sample those, right?
Yeah, you can take whatever you like from it, and they run it off SoundCloud, so you can stream it, but you can also download the MP3s and stuff like that. I don't have them blocked or anything like that. And then come January 1st, we're going to have the full album that we've recorded, which is 16 full-length songs, plus a few like skits that we have that are in-betweens.
Gotcha.
We'll have that whole thing posted on SoundCloud, and then we'll also start streaming it to Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. So
So what are the bands that you played with? You have the
Well, we've known you from
the
played
Bloodline.
Bloodline.
yeah, Bloodline is the local band that adopted me there
Yep,
when I
they're
first
pretty awesome.
got here. They're awesome people.
Yeah.
Mike Powell, Teresa Powell, his wife,
Yeah.
is also a big part of like booking and stuff.
Yeah.
Josh,
Yeah. Hey,
his
Josh.
son, great bass player. They're doing some cool things or whatever. So we're just kind of in a hiatus as far as like through the
Gotcha.
winter season. Everybody's kind of taking a break. But me and Mike are both doing our solo stuff.
Cool.
I have a bunch of new projects on the way. I mean, it's not limited to just these people, but the people I feel comfortable mentioning, at least. We have Gabriel Casas. He's a great
Yeah, we know
we
him.
know Gabriel.
We got to get him
piano
in
player.
here. We got to
Yeah.
Yeah, we really should. He's an awesome guy. And he's an amazing piano player, synth player, all the things. Like anything with keys on it, he slays it. And so
Yeah, true. He's so cool.
I'm going to be playing guitar with him a little bit with his solo project, whether you want to call it the Green Cheese, whatever you want to call it.
The green trees. Green
That's
trees.
his baby, and I love playing the reggae stuff with him. It's good times. And then also we're going to be starting another like solo project that's just going to be me and him. We do have a lot of plans for it, but I'm not going to say a lot about it because it's going to be an upcoming project. But just look out for that.
For our next show.
A little bit closer there.
So yeah,
Cool.
So what is your favorite instrument then?
I mean, that's hard to say. I loved guitar because of the melody, so that's why I picked it up after I learned drums. I would say drums is definitely what I'm most proficient at. If you were to see me play and rank me to other people, that would definitely be the instrument I would go for. Mm-hmm. But I just love the melody of guitar and piano. I've gained a fondness for singing. I never was a singer, but I had to do backups when I joined Sweet and Juicy, and so that kind of propelled me into like being interested in karaoke.
Getting your voice, yeah.
And then I did karaoke for a while and kind of built up my voice that way. And we have some great local singers here. So when we all got together and we're like, hey, like, what songs do you want to do? Like, can we do some duets or like how, you know?
So do you sing harmony and do you read notes? Double question.
Do you read notes?
Woo!
You'd be surprised how many of our guests, musicians, do not read music.
I don't, and I have a position on it as well that I'm very glad that I don't. It was a conscious choice that I made when I was learning how to play because I taught myself how to play everything. I've never had a lesson on anything, so some of the ways I taught myself how to play things maybe would be considered not correct by like a teacher. Mm-hmm. But that is exactly what my style is based off of. So if I was limited to the box of notation, I don't think that I would have written half of the things that I've written.
75-25. 25% of the guests can read notes, and the rest of our musician friends don't.
I would say, you think it's 75?
80% don't.
I would say,
Right.
probably
80% don't.
I think that's a good number across the board.
So
honestly.
this is what you're doing full time. You don't have to the question if I were to ask you, do you follow another career path or a job?
No, I keep small time, like part-time jobs on the side that are maybe 2 or 3 days a week just to like keep extra income if I need it. But it's also weekend work. So every time I have a show, I had to take off work.
What do you like to do?
So I'm working in restaurants just because it's
cool.
What I have always liked to do, either restaurant
Cooking or
like,
serving? Front house, back house?
Depends on the situation. Currently back of house, but you know I've done all the things as far as that goes. Usually winter time when it's the slower time.
Right.
Get a job for a little bit, record stuff like that.
We have seen you play the drums, obviously with Bloodlines, and you're twirling the
you're
thingies.
good.
What are they called?
The drumsticks.
The drumsticks, and they're going in the air and floating around, and then you catch them somehow behind you.
Magic.
I mean, that is really. Do you have to practice that, or is that just with the rhythm?
It's definitely like a practice thing that's not necessary at all. Most drummers, I would say nowadays, don't even bother. But I grew up playing in like an '80s style metal band. My mom was the lead singer, and she looked and sounded very much like Lita Ford. To the point where we actually did a cover of Close My Eyes Forever, which if you want to look up Reverb Nation, Angel Steel is the name of the band. That was our band. We still have the reverb up, and one of the recordings that you'll hear out of dozens that are on there is a full cover that we did, a full band cover. And instead of having a male-female slash, which there is Ozzy Osbourne singing on the original.
With the uterus or not with the uterus?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so just uterus on this one.
Yeah.
Only female the whole way through, and so she killed both parts, and literally this is the age of MySpace. So we get a MySpace direct message from Lita Ford's official page, and she said,
really?
Sends my mom this whole like really lovely note, and she's like, this is the best version of this I've ever heard before. This is way better than the version we recorded. Like she's like, I don't have any idea how you did this. Just showering her with compliments, and it was really fun at the time. But that's a really big production that we put on, and we did a few covers that were like really high quality.
Now you have Pikachu on your drum set.
Yeah,
I didn't
my
know
mascot.
what Pikachu was.
He didn't even know Pikachu.
Pikachu.
I'm not necessarily a Pokemon person or anything. I just it's what my childhood was just that image of Pikachu. But anyways, he's an electric Pokemon, and I play on an electric drum set, so it just felt like an appropriate little mascot.
See.
And I did it in my studio, and somebody suggested that I should take it to a show. And now I've just taken it. It's in my gear now. I just take it to every show with me.
Hey, by the way, I'm asking about a drum set. You started with a traditional drum set.
Of course.
What's the deal? You don't have a traditional drum set. You have an electric, or what do they call digital drums? It looks like
it's electronic drums. Yeah, it's essentially like a computer brain with all the wires plugged into it, and can tell the drums what sound to make.
And
you
I
can
didn't know what
customize it completely. Every single drum is completely customizable. What sound you want to put on it, what tuning.
Wow.
All the
It looks
The
like it's
cymbals,
almost...
yeah, the cymbals give it away. They're black cymbals or rubber.
they're rubber. The thing is, you have to spend thousands to get like a high enough level drum set to where it still kind of looks like a real drum set.
Yeah,
That's
it
why
does, right?
I try to
Otherwise, you're playing the
mimic it.
pads.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smaller ones, they're great for in-house and practice, and they're very low volume, which is great. You can put headphones on and not have any sound come out at all, which is really awesome.
Wow.
That's another benefit of it because we have the recording studio and we're always recording, so it's great for sampling. I use it for my hip-hop beats. I don't use any pre-done samples. I sample only my own voice,
Cool.
my own instruments, so that's another big plus for it. But also just live in small clubs, the drums are always the loudest thing, and so the drummer either has to compromise and hit softer, which makes you not play like yourself, or you're constantly having to turn everything up and blast everybody out in the front row, and they can't hear the next day. So this is a great way to just have a volume button, just like a guitar or piano.
Very interesting. Is this the way this the future of drums is going to be?
It's definitely already taken over a lot of like parts of the world, but I love acoustic drums. Don't get me wrong. If I was in a
old-fashioned
big
drums, yeah.
place and playing a big venue or a festival or something like that, I would definitely want a full like acoustic kit because there's no feeling quite like it. It's for the drummer more than it is for the
We
people.
saw you up at the thing during this summer. We saw you at a concert playing with
Yeah, by Foxy's, was it?
Yeah, Fox.
Oh yeah, we had our end of the summer bash up there.
up with
That was a great
Bloodline.
day.
And I never this old guy comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I'm not old. Hell, I'm 66."
Probably.
He goes, "Hey, you notice those are fake drums?" I go, "What do you mean they're fake drums? You're playing this the whole time." And
Yeah.
Michael's out there playing, and Josh is cutting it.
Can't tell it.
And what are you talking about? I could tell they're fake drums anyways. Look at they're rubber cymbals. They're black rubber cymbals. I go, "What is that?" I had no clue. And then once he put it in my brain, I said, "Yeah, they don't sound as good as the acoustic ones." So that was his point. They don't sound as good. Well, suddenly I was nodding my head. Yeah, they don't sound as good. I had no idea what they were.
Yeah, I would say arguably outside for a big festival, yeah, I would still prefer an acoustic drum set. Like I had a giant touring kit before I came to this place, and I sold a lot of gear before I came here, and so I've just kind of slowly been building it up. And the electric drum set was actually a gift from my wife, and it was like
Wow.
I was like stunned, like could not believe it, like by far the best, craziest, most expensive gift I've ever been.
Wow.
Given.
Good. Hey, Ariel, Priscilla.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you know,
go
I married her.
Priscilla,
You know,
Ariel.
she's the best person ever. So
And you're
that's why.
recently married, right? You're not.
Well, I mean, it's been almost 2 years now.
2 years.
has it been 2 years?
Well, it's been 2 years.
I'm
We've been
sorry.
like together,
Yeah.
together or whatever. But it's been a year and a half or so
All right,
since
cool.
we got married.
Fairly recent.
Our anniversary is in April, so
All right.
April
cool.
what?
the 29th.
April 29th. All right.
What's it's somebody's birthday we know. So there is a difference, and you do only have digital drum. What do they call it again? Digital drum?
Yeah, digital
E-drums.
electronics, e-drums.
E-drums?
Yeah, there's tons of different names, but they're not acoustic at all. They don't have regular drum heads on them. They don't make loud noise
Yeah.
by themselves. You have to have amplification.
So what's on the snare? I mean, it's just is it
it's a
rubber
sound.
there?
It's a sound. Yeah, it's a mesh pad, like kind of like a nice soft mesh that is. You tune them. You tune them just like a regular drum, so you can have the tension you want. It feels very much nowadays like a regular drum. Maybe
How
back
about
in
if
the
you
day
hit
they
the
didn't,
end of, the metal ring around a
So
snare?
instead of having metal, it's actually a rubber ring, so you can have two different tones on each pad. So every one of my tom-tom
And you
pads
get
and
that
my snare
sharp
drum,
click, click,
I can
click?
get I can get that like snare rim shot sound in there, and then all my effect cymbals are on the rims of my toms. So it makes me have twice as many cymbals without having all these big cymbals that actually take up a room.
So
there's
when you
another
play, you really get into it and do.
Yeah.
It looks
It's a
very
workout.
power. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
I'll
do
burn
you
about
have to have it
3,000
with us?
calories or so in a 4-hour show if I'm.
Would
don't
you
take
still
breaks.
have to pound so much, even though it is an E? Or
Now
is
I don't hit as hard. I'd kind of have developed a style where I'm flicking my wrist and kind of making it look like I'm
Yeah,
really
yeah.
digging in, but I'm not because
Okay.
if I did, I would break
I know,
stuff.
right?
I mean, you break stuff on a regular kit too. You can break a cymbal real easily or
What do you break? How do you break? You break the
so
membrane.
it cracks eventually sometimes, if, especially thicker cymbals. That's why when I do play acoustic cymbals, I tend to play thinner ones because they bend really nicely and they move. They don't stay rigid and crack like that.
Yeah. All right, folks, we are going to get right back to James Debottis here in the KCIW studio where we are talking his music and what's going on in his life. And we're blessed by having such a talented musician within our midst. This area attracts people, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
James?
right.
I mean, we get a lot of retired older guys that have played some big time bands, right?
Yeah. I lived in Portland, and I would have never dreamed of having to try to get my wife to move there. I wanted to move here immediately. I was like,
great.
This is where you work, and this is where you live. So this is where I want to be.
Right.
Yeah. It is that mid-time break. We have a half hour left. It's going by really fast. We know that's a good show. Thank you for tuning in to KCIW 100.7 FM LP here in the studios in Brookings, Oregon. We will be right back with our talk with James Debottis. But first I want to tell you about a new program here at KCIW that gives you something back in exchange for support. Major supporters, and we're getting a lot of major supporters now, are coming in, and for an incredible reasonable price of about $495, you're going to get clearly nearly 500 radio spots on our on this station several times a day, 7 days a week. And if you sign up, get you in here before the first of the year, we can give you an extra month. It would be 7 months. These spots can be for your business, your organization, even your family, your group, your 501c3, whatever it is. It's a win-win exchange. And for under $500, you too can become a major supporter of KCIW. So we're giving you back a lot for your support. We want you to know that Advanced Airlines, serving Brookings and Crescent City, is now on board, as well as Remax Coast and Country. We got Curry County Chamber of Commerce. All these folks have been on our show here.
Yes.
Doc Bellardi's Crescent Land Title Company serves Oregon and California with his title and escrow company. We got Harbor Commissioner Dan Schmidt in Crescent City is working with the Brookings Harbor, and Dr. Gigi Reed and I, MD, and we have two more folks joining in very soon. I forgot to mention Nick Rail just joined.
Yes, Nick
We
Rail.
just got him on the ladder today with their
Nick
PPA.
and Lisa Rail.
Nick and Lisa Rail with a partnership for the performing arts. So if you want to find out more about this, becoming a major supporter and getting something back, then you can reach out to us and go on KCIW.org. It's real simple, and we will have, or we should have something there. If not, you could reach out to me on Facebook as Jacques Kepner, Kepner. All right, we are back with James Debottis talking in the studio. We want about another maybe 5-10 minutes
Just
at
a
the
couple more
most.
minutes, and then
We have to
wanna
find out some more
hear.
stuff, and then you're going to play some of your unique music.
Indeed.
And no drums. We walked in, and you were hooked up with the guitar, which is cool.
We're expecting the drum set. No, not really.
Yeah, we didn't know.
So we're glad you brought something. But tell us, who are your favorite songwriters, bands, drummers? What do you...
That's always a tough question, especially being a person who plays so many different genres and loves so many different genres. I would say the band Dream Theater and the drummer for that band, Mike Portnoy, who has just recently rejoined with them for their 40th anniversary, which is awesome.
Dream Theater.
Theater, yeah. They have a ton of albums. They're very imagine like Rush, but what they wish they could have achieved. You know what I mean? Like musically, like it's that turned up to like another level because it's building on that past. They're actually huge Rush enthusiasts, and they were good friends when Neil Peart was still alive, which is another one of my heroes. But Mike is one of the best drummers in the world, recognized by a lot of different people. And every chop that I have, every good fill, every like complicated song I can attribute like in my brain is from that band. They built my style. They built the way that, I mean, I swear without them, I would definitely not be the drummer that I am today for sure.
Dream Theater.
Theater.
I could find them. They're all over.
Yeah, they're on their 40th anniversary tour right now. They just got back from Europe, I believe, and I'm going to go see them, I believe, in Salt Lake City with my wife in March.
Salt Lake. I lived there for 22 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
You played in all these venues in town here. What's your favorite venue here in the town?
Well, I'm always partial to Oxenfree because that's where I met my wife, so that's just like a sentimental one for me. And it's honestly really fun to play when it's packed. It is a good time. And then I love playing my like party shows at the 101 bar.
Okay.
It's a really fun place. It's turned into really largely to do.
Is it a new owner or not?
I think they're in the midst of a transition, but I'm not at will to say. I don't know exactly all the details. But I believe that they're going to keep the same staff, which would be very smart in my opinion. Jamie, the manager there, is an amazing worker and person and friend, and they've always been really good to us. Dan, the bartender, is always really good to us. And then Peter, he told me I had a radio body today, so I was like, "Oh, thanks."
radio
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, you got a body for radio." But I was like,
Wait a minute.
I was like, "Thanks."
So do
I don't
we.
know whether to take that or
He said
compliment or
JK.
not.
He said JK, but I don't believe him. I think that's. I'll get you back, Peter. But yeah, I just love playing all over. I think Groundlings Pizza is another new one that I've just recently started playing at, and that's in Gold Beach. I love that place.
Ground. Oh, I know where it is. It is nice.
Their
That's right.
pizza is amazing. They have a real Italian oven that I think they had like shipped from Italy and like went multiple places and it's amazing. But they're also really great people and they take good care of you.
You're coming down to Crescent City again soon with
Friday night. Robert Tiernan
at the new Porta-Pine South Beach.
South Beach.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we're going to get Dr. Kirk is going to be joining our major supporter program, and he's going to be on board here. So we will be telling more about what's happening with his Porta-Pines #2, which is South Beach. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, it looks amazing, doesn't it? Oh my god,
big!
I can't wait to play
They just put
there.
a stage in there now too.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I haven't been in there.
And they
since
got a
the
stage outside too. So they have two.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They told me about the
Nice
summer
weather,
events are going to be
outside.
great. Yeah.
So Dr. Kirk's done a lot on Porta-Pines, and he'll be a major supporter here soon.
Awesome.
So we look forward to you there Friday night.
Yep, Friday night, 7:30 is the start time. Yep, the 20th. That's Robert Tiernan.
Is such a talented.
Gabriel Costas is going to be with us playing on
Okay.
keyboard.
Wow.
All right.
Rob's on bass.
Rob Jacobs?
Yeah, amazing. The 5-string, all all the things.
Everybody.
And then forgive me because I just met him last night, but our trumpet player, I believe, is also going to be there.
Okay, the
Oh,
trumpet,
yeah, we
they have
like the
they have a
trumpet
sax
player.
and a trumpet player.
Yeah, if he's not, then that's a bummer, and we'll miss him. But yeah,
Great.
Yeah, we
Robert
like that.
Tiernan, when he plays with his friends,
his
and now
folk.
you're the drummer there, we can't wait because it's such a cool.
yeah, I saw
He has
him on
the
New
rock,
Year's
he
a couple
has
years back, and I was
rock,
like, oh my gosh.
I know.
Good
Like,
guy,
where do you
right?
see trumpets
He will
anymore?
not
And it
come on my
fits
show.
in.
I
It's
can't
really
get him. I
cool.
can't.
I wanted to so bad play with him the whole time I was here, and then finally,
Robert's our friend.
Yeah,
He's such a
he's a good dude.
Have you produced your own albums and CDs?
Yes, tons.
And where are they to be found?
So you can find some of the stuff that we've done, like we did in a metal band that I was in back in Portland called Emanate Soul. It's an amazing, like progressive metal group that we put together in literally like 8 weeks. We built this band, put it together. We were about to start touring and everything when COVID happened.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily, just before that, we went on Bridge City Sessions, which is on YouTube. You can find. Just go Bridge City Sessions /Emanate Soul. And that is 2 full live sessions we did that are also broke up into individual videos. So,
Folks, we're joined by James Debottis in the KCIW studio today. He's going to start getting his gig together, his rig together here to do a small gig.
Yeah.
Gig? I don't know what you call it.
Right.
And he's put on his thing. Again, I want to
pink,
remind you
guitar.
that we will not be here next week or the week after. So,
Right.
Tom, I'm waving to Tom Bozak, our sound engineer. You got to figure out some other, either play one of our other shows or have somebody come in that wants to work on Christmas and New Year's Day, because we're not. We will be back on the 8th, though, at the KCIW studios, and we're looking forward. We have some good guests.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
But right now, we want to hear James Debottis on his guitar with an original song.
Yeah, he plays the beat, so he's got an unusual kind of setup here. He's got the guitar rigged in there. All right, anytime you're ready, James.
Yeah.
What are you playing today?
So we're going to do it's a track called Starry Night. It's kind of a classical tune, probably a standard at this point, I'm sure. So,
Starry Night.
Yeah, it's a beautiful classical tune, and I'm just going to play some improv over the top of it.
Let's do it.
Right.
James Debottis. Starry Night, right?
Good stuff.
Very good.
Good
Holy
stuff.
crap.
So
I'm
it's
just
interesting. You got it on your
mesmerized.
phone, but then you're playing all the guitar there, and you have
It's
some.
just a piano track. There's
How,
no, yeah.
how cool. It was mesmerizing. At
Yeah,
first.
it was mesmerizing.
Like, it's like our hypnotic tapes. We play at night. It's like, I'm ready to go to sleep.
Except for you see
in a
those
good way, in a
fingers
good
go
way.
brrrr
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
over
That's
the
up.
place. Very
Hey,
cool.
the next track will have some fancy stuff. So there you
Okay,
go.
all right.
right.
We got that. Hey, by the way, are you getting better with age? Do you find yourself improving? Always?
Yeah, I always want to improve. I want to say, like, yes, from my perspective, I have improved, but you're always trying to improve.
Right.
Sure.
It's just
Very good.
as you get more knowledge, the things you're trying to learn become more difficult, and so they take longer to learn. So each step you push through takes a little bit longer to really get down, like, but it's like anything else. Practice makes perfect. So
Yep. True.
Yeah,
just keep going,
James Debottis and the studio today, KCAW studio. What is up next, James?
It's more of a funky type of fusion type of track. I love these kinds of tracks.
gonna start
'cause they're
dancing. We
High
love
energy.
dancing.
Oh yeah, please do. Please do. If you hear some pounding, that's what
That's a boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
yeah. So yeah, let's get it going. Let's have.
And
some
what's the
fun.
next song?
It's just a backing track. It doesn't
Okay,
have
backing track.
a
Yours-
physical name. It's not
There you go. Cool.
no form of copyright here to worry about. So there you go.
Good to hear.
All right.
James Debottis.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
We were dancing back
James
here.
Debottis
Very nice.
Here in the
Awesome.
KCIW studio doing all the electric fret work. You know, we both sat there, on you, particularly on Dream Theater, the earlier one. You sound so similar to Robert Tiernan's kind of, you know, that kind of jazzy, liquid.
Yeah, it's
Flow.
so nice. Yeah,
Miracle was.
I think that's why we mesh well together. Like as soon as we played, we were just like, oh, this is nice.
Right on. Now he heard you play guitar?
Well, I think he's heard me play guitar. I don't think I've played in front of him yet, but
Yeah.
I think we may have something coming up for New Year's. I won't spoil it yet,
I'm
but
gonna tell him.
yeah,
I'm gonna
watch out
tell
for
him.
the Facebook. We're gonna do stuff.
You were in the studio. I'll tell him.
Very
Robert
nice.
is our
Now,
buddy.
do you do private events?
Yeah, tons. Mostly
Weddings,
parties and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But if you want somebody for wedding stuff, I can totally do like love song type stuff. The only caveat, and I hope that it's a plus for me, is I don't do. At least on guitar, I don't really do covers. I like do my own originals,
Gotcha.
or I'll play. You know, I'll sing if I have to, whatever. But I probably should start learning some
covers,
and stuff like that. But I've just always written my own stuff, and I've tried to be my own artist. But with drums, it's different. It's a sound. It's not a note that I need to learn. So a snare drum's a snare drum, kick drum's a kick drum. It all sounds the same to me. So as soon as I hear a song once, I can just play it. And so that's really helpful, like learning.
So you're down Friday night at Port-au-Prince, South Beach. Dr. Kirk's down on Citizens Dock Road in Crescent City from 7:30 until late. They stay up there late. And then also Gabriel's Casas is going to be
Yeah, he's gonna be there playing with
Rob
us as well.
Jacob on the Mighty Steelhead. He's
kills it on the bass.
yeah,
Right.
really, really
He's
good.
a Great
Cool.
band then.
Okay, look-
Now, how do people get a hold of you? How do they book
Depends.
you?
If they want to book me, usually we're going through Facebook or
What is
even
Facebook? Just
so
JD
Facebook
Drums?
is JD Drums. I should be the only
as in
one.
Jacques, and then D as in Doctor.
Yeah.
JD Drums. Okay.
And then same thing for Instagram, JD Drums. It's all linked with my Facebook as well. So if you have me on one, you should have me on both.
Okay.
And then phone number. Hey, I can give it out if you want.
Yeah, do
Yes,
it right
give it
now.
out.
Phone number 541-254-1944.
So it's 541-254-1944.
Yes, sir.
You could contact James directly and set up a time and a date and wonderful music coming out. What do we got? We got song for one more. We got 4 or 5 minutes here.
Yeah. If you want me to play
do it.
another one, let's
Yeah,
do it.
play it.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's go back to the softer side, and we'll get people crying.
Yeah, crying.
know.
This is
It
radio.
even says sad guitar backing track. How about
All
that?
right. Yeah.
So if you want to find it on YouTube, that's what it's called.
James, you have such a great radio body.
Thank you. My voice needs some working on, but the body is on point for radio. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
All right, here we go. A little softy
Hit us
to
with
play you
the
out with.
job. Yeah.
leave you with that.
You were strumming it.
Very
I wish everybody
cool.
could see James at doing his craft here. He's known for his drums, but he plays one mean lick on the guitar. Very, very impressive. James.
Flying fingers all over the place. There.
Well, hey, if you want to see it, book me.
There we go. We got to book
There you
you. Maybe at our wedding there, Tom.
maybe.
Yep.
Possibly.
The phone
We'll
number is
see. We'll see.
541-254-1944.
That's how you can get a hold of him or find you at JD Drums on Facebook. James, it's been exceptionally
So cool.
easy
Thank you.
show to do with you, man. You're
Thank you.
natural. Your talent shows welcome, and so we're so blessed by having you in our community. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Give us best to
Very cool.
Priscilla Ariel.
Priscilla,
for us.
Ariel, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to her. She's the whole reason
She's
that
never-
I'm able to do this stuff, and she's definitely my rock. So
Right on.
Oh, Ariel.
James Debottis in the KCIW studio. Thanks again very much, Doctor. We just have a few minutes to do. What are we going to do?
Fun time corner.
Oh, boy.
Woohoo.
All right, give us some good quotes. Hopefully they're holiday quotes.
Yes. Okay. No. The first one is
yes,
the
no.
one that I wanted to say last time. Never break someone's heart.
Never break someone's heart.
They only have one. Break their bones. Instead, they have 200.
They got 206 bones. Break one of their bones next time. Okay, what does Santa Claus know? He has the right idea or something, right?
Yeah, but that's my quote. You
Okay,
go with your
cheers. Go
joke.
ahead. Tell us.
All right. Santa Claus has the right idea. Only visit family members once
Once a year. Victor Borgia.
Borgia.
Hey, did you hear about the lion that divorced his wife, Doc?
No, what?
She was a cheetah. Dr. Gigi recently told me that I'm a know-it-all, and I told her I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Come on.
So true. Now, I am dreaming of a white Christmas, but if it runs out, I'll take the red one.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Christmas.
If that runs out, I'll take it away. Hey, Dr. Gigi reminded me that romance is so much better on vacation. She promises to send me a postcard. It's pretty dark. Give us another one.
Hey, Jackie.
What?
Santa knows what you are been Googling, so don't expect any gifts this year.
Santa knows what I've been Googling? Oh, man. Oh, they all
Do you need another? I got a clean one. I got a clean
A
one.
cleaned up one?
Yeah.
A clean version?
What do you call a man in a suit sitting in a tree?
What do you call a man sitting in a suit and sitting in a tree?
Yeah.
What?
A branch manager.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm a branch manager.
Come on.
Darn it. I had to leave my last job, Doctor.
Why?
Company relocated, and they didn't tell me where.
That's a good one. May all your troubles last as long as your New Year's resolutions.
May all your friends. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, we have one more for time. Okay, let's
more
go.
joke.
Imagine walking into a bar and seeing a long line of people waiting to hit you.
Yeah?
That's the punchline. Get it? Okay, bad.
All right.
Up there.
Well,
All
guess
right.
what?
We are.
Time flies when you're having fun. We're at the end of our show once again. You have been listening to Doc and Jacques on KCIW LP 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. We had a great time visiting with our music wizard, James Debottis, on this last show
of
of
the year.
this year of 2020. Happy holidays to
Happy
everybody.
New Year and all that fun stuff. A special thanks to all of you listening to make this show what it is. We really appreciate all of you. Appreciate the sound engineering. James, so good seeing you.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, it was so fun.
We will see you next year on the 8th, right?
No, yes.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Be safe. Peace and love to
Good,
everybody out there. Hope to see you around town. Bye-bye.
Yes, goodbye.